Hi guys, we are here today again. Today we shall be looking at misconduct discipline in civil service, using Nigeria as a case study, using federal civil service of Nigeria as a case study. Um, yeah, what we have on the slide or on the board today, we shall be looking at misconduct. What is misconduct actually in civil service? What are the types? We shall also be looking at the types of perhaps misconduct. We shall be looking at what are those things that constitute misconduct. We shall be looking at discipline. We shall be looking at procedure for discipline. We shall be looking at penalties for misconduct. Then multiple choice questions and answer to evaluate the class, as in for us to know if we are following up. We have multiple choice questions and answer for us to do a kind of follow up to evaluate ourselves. The last class we were talking about appointment and leaving the service in our last class. That was what we discussed in our last class. And today, as I said, we shall be looking at what misconduct is in civil service and perhaps the discipline that will come after it. Now let's dive quickly into what we have for today. Now, what is misconduct in civil service? What is generally misconduct? When we say misconduct, what do you understand by the term misconduct? We say misconduct, these are behavior or actions that violate certain standards or rules. Now, rules have been set. Once those rules that are set have been violated or they've been in any way they've been breached, then a misconduct has set in. However, in the context of the Federal Civil Service of the Federation, which is Nigeria, misconduct is defined as act of wrongdoing, any act that is wrong, that is bad. The word inimical is being used here. Inimical, anything that is bad to the image of the service. That is what misconduct is all about. And if you remember in our one of our previous classes, we talked about uh, core values in civil service. We talk about core values, which is code of ethics. We talk about code of ethics in civil service. When those code of ethics, when they are being breached, when they are being violated by civil servants, such civil servant is said to have committed misconduct. Again, let's look at types of misconduct now. Misconduct Types of misconduct could vary from one service to another, but generally, let's just look at the different types of misconduct. Then we shall now come back to federal civil service of Nigeria. Then we look at the types of misconduct that they have also. Now, misconduct could be one, it could be gross, which is a kind of a serious offense, um, which include fraud, corruption. Then we have minor misconduct. Minor misconduct. It could be tardiness. It could be traffic offense. It could be traffic offense. It could be environmental offense. Then we have criminal misconduct. Of course, we all know what it is for somebody to commit crime. See, this one is serious. We also have administrative misconduct. We have professional misconduct. In this case, we're talking about breach of confidentiality. Breach of that is one of the when you talk about what is called principles in civil service. Breach of confidentiality. Then conflict of interest. That is professional misconduct. They also talk about professional misconduct, which is an example something like discrimination. So if you see, we've talked about types of misconduct. However, in Federal Civil Service Commission of the Federation, misconduct is divided broadly into two. All what we've said, we are now further divided into two. One is misconduct, and the other one is serious misconduct. Now, for the misconduct, looking at it, yes, it's an offense that, when committed, could paint the image of the service bad, and the other one, which is the serious misconduct, is a very serious act of wrongdoing, which could lead to dismissal, termination as the case may be. But in any case, once misconduct has been established, whether serious or misconduct or whichever nomenclature it is called, the conclusion of the case calls for dismissal. It doesn't matter if it is serious or misconduct. Such officer could be dismissed, as we shall later see what constitutes different types. By the time you look at certain things that constitute misconduct, you will now know, okay, this officer, there's possibility that this officer could be dismissed. Just imagine an officer who comes to work, we have 365 days in a year. And out of that 365 days, we know that we have Saturdays and Sundays that are work free day. We also have public holidays, and give or take, you have about 240 days, or rather 230 days for somebody to be in the office. And this officer was able to make 229 days in a year and did not come to work for one day. According to the public service rule of Federal Republic of Nigeria, such officer could be dismissed for not making office for just one day, and some other places that could be tagged as minor misconduct. So it all depends on the context through which a particular region or a particular geopolitical or a particular country or a particular service is describing misconduct. Now, we shall look at what constitutes misconduct with reference to public service rule. Now, on the first on our list, first is a scandalous act. There's what we call scandalous act. Scandalous act is further divided into 6. It was further categorized into 6. You have immoral behavior. We know when I say something is immoral, it simply means before the eyes of man, it is not proper. Immoral behavior. You have unruly behavior. And somebody is unruly. You are not being controlled. You cannot be controlled. You cannot be controlled. You also have drunkenness. You can imagine. We've seen on crates where officers who are supposed to take care of the law, who are supposed to be considerate of the law, they are drunk to their post of duty. That, of course, is misconduct. Then we have the use of foul language. People use it. Officers use it at the workplace. Then you have what we call assault. Assault. Then assault simply means physical altercation. Intimidate somebody by the words of mouth, using mouth to intimidate somebody. That is assault. Then by the time it now resorts to contact, exchange of fees, whatever, that is battery. Now these are categorized under scandalous act and it's misconduct. If you go into the criminal code, I mean the criminal code law, you can see it there, well defined, assault, well defined. It's a very big patch as well. These are real time offenses in the law of the land. Then the next on our list is refusal for an officer to proceed on transfer. Sometimes an officer is asked, young man, please, based on your skills or whatever, please, you'll be moved from one place to another to go assist. And see some officer they decline. In any case, you could see what is happening now in the country. Some persons will not want to be transferred to some geopolitical zones, perhaps because of what is happening there, what is not happening there, or perhaps what they are benefiting at their present position or what they are not benefiting. So, refusal to proceed on transfer or to accept posting is misconduct. Then we also have the habitual lateness to work. It is part of civil service in Nigeria. See, civil servants, the official time for coming to resuming office is 8, and the official time for closing is 4. But on the average, I don't say some civil servants they are not really. I mean, they don't come to work that early and close as when they're supposed to close. They do, but on the average, discover most of them they don't come to work as when they are supposed to come to. So it is habitual, it is perpetual. They just choose to come to work that late. Then you have deliberate delay in treating official records. People do it, officers they do it. That is misconduct. A file is given to you and it is marked either X, 1X, or please, 2 hours time, want this file treated. And because you have your own personal things you want to carry out in the office, you decide to treat your personal issues before treating office issues. So that is misconduct. We also have deliberate delay in treating official documents. Deliberate delay in treating official documents. You see people, they are being given documents, they delay in treating it. Then sleeping on duty, of course, people do they think it's normal. Officers think it's normal, but the truth is it's misconduct. Negligence. Carry out your responsibility. You're not carrying out your responsibility. You are not being seen at your duty post as assigned you. Dishonesty. If you remember when we're talking about core principle in civil service, we're talking about honesty. You have to be honest. Now, dishonesty. Then we talk about insubordination. Insubordination. A superior officer is asking you to carry out a particular responsibility, and you are bluntly telling the officer that you're not going to do it, or you choose not to do it. That's insubordination. You are insubordinate. You are trying not to be controlled by your superior. That is insubordination. Then you have malingering. People do it a lot. Officers do it a lot. They just spend sickness. They just spend illness. Oh, I have a headache. Uh, Mr. A, please carry out this assignment. I have a headache. I can't do this. That is malingering. People do it. They just come up with excuses not to carry out responsibility. That is malingering. Then you have hawking merchandise in office premises. We are not saying as civil servants you cannot hawk merchandise. We are saying you cannot do your business. No, of course you are very well free to do your business. But doing your business must not be within office hours. When we say office hours, 8 to 4. Not just that, it cannot be within the office premises. Yes, you cannot come by 7 a.m. in the office premises and start carrying out your no. It is very, very wrong. That is a misconduct. So, hawking merchandise within the office premises is a misconduct. Or within office hours is also a misconduct. Then we have discourteous behavior. You see some officers when they go out there, public officer when they go out there to handle private, we have we normally have what we call this public-private partnership. There could be a situation where government is organizing a conference and is bringing in government is bringing in private sector to be part of the conference. How do you handle them? You see some officers, they are not being courteous, they are so discourteous, the way they talk to people out there. So it's misconduct for the eyes of civil service. Now, that is just misconduct. Now let's talk about serious misconduct. Remember, we talked about types of misconduct. We are talking about types of misconduct. We looked at misconduct. Now, we want to talk about types of misconduct. Now, types of misconduct, serious misconduct, by the name serious, it means something more serious than the one we discussed. More serious than the one we discussed. By men looking at it, you should know that, okay, this offense is more grievous than the other one. Just by men looking at the word or by observing what transpired, they could tell that this is more serious, it's more grievous than the other. Now we shall look at some of them briefly, some of the serious misconduct briefly. First on our list, or first on what we shall have is what they normally call the military, they call it AWOL, absent without leave. That's number one. They call it AWOL. It's everywhere. You just leave for 24 hours without communication, no authorized. You absent yourself without authorized leave. When an officer does that, it's a serious crime. It's a serious misconduct in federal civil service. The federal civil service of Nigeria does not in any way joke or plays with such offense. Because you not being at your duty post for 24 hours will cost the government a lot of money, would make the nation to bleed. So if you must leave, there must be somebody taking your post. So your leaving should be approved. So absence without authorized leave, which is AWOL, is a serious misconduct. Then we also have falsification of records. One of the things the federal civil service frowns against is falsification of records. When an officer enters the service, There is a form you are supposed to fill, your personal staff record from Gen 60. And one of the things that you are expected not to change as you progresses, as an officer progresses or as you progress, is your date of birth. It's not to be tempered anytime. You don't tell us you were born 25 years ago and now joining the service after 2 years you come to tell us you were born 15 years ago. No, it's a serious misconduct. It's a serious crime. So falsification of records is not allowed in civil service. Again, suppressing of records. You don't suppress record. Data records that have been handed to you. You are not suppressing them for your own advantage or for personal advantage. Is a serious crime. Then withholding of files. When you withhold files that are meant to be treated, you decided that you want to keep them in your custody. No. That is not allowed. It's also another misconduct in civil service. Then we also have what we call a false claim. False claim against government officials. Like you're bearing false witness against government official, against your own fellow colleague. You guys went out or you went somewhere for an official assignment, and in the course of carrying out your assignment, because of your own personal gains, you now decide to bear false witness against your own fellow officer. Is a serious misconduct. We also conviction on criminal charge. A criminal charge brought before an officer. Once an officer is convicted, is of course is a court of law that convicts anybody. Once it has been approved that such an officer has been convicted, of course. Other than now, when we talk about conviction, it depends on the nature of the crime. Again, it depends on the nature of the crime. An officer who is convicted by a court on grounds of environmental issue, let's assume on the day of sanitation, you were supposed to have your environment well cleaned, well tidied up. Perhaps you didn't do that. That is a minor crime. Again, traffic offense. Yes, according to the PSR, is a minor crime. Yes, that in that light, it's not seen as a serious misconduct. Yes, you could be convicted before a court of law for disobeying traffic lights or traffic whatever. Yes, but when you are convicted on grounds on treasonable offense, no. It's a serious misconduct that the service does not smile at it. The service does not joke with it. Now we also have unauthorized disclosure of documents. Now let's not get it twisted. Let's not mix it up. When we talk about misconduct, we said delay in treating official documents. There's a delay. Not that you didn't do it, but there was a delay. Now, in serious misconduct, we are not saying unauthorized disclosure of official documents. That is why, as a civil servant, there are certain documents that are so sensitive that you must take what we call oath of secrecy. You must swear oath of secrecy so that those documents must be protected. In any case, once those documents in your possession are being disclosed by that officer, you are disclosing government document before a spy. That is a serious misconduct. That is a very serious misconduct. But again, delay in treating official documents is misconduct. It's not serious. So let's not get it twisted. We also have what called the advance free fraud. If you go to the criminal code law, you will see there. 419. That's what they normally call it, 419 in Nigeria. If you go there, you'll see there. Advance free fraud simply means trying to take from somebody using pretense. You want to steal from somebody using false pretense to take from somebody. That is just the definition. It's a very serious offense. Like what you now have in our local parlance here, we call it yahoo yahoo. The boys are doing yahoo yahoo, or girls are doing yahoo yahoo. And the service is a serious misconduct. Now we also talk about action prejudicial to the security of the state. Action that are not too good to be. You take actions. You are doing things that are before the state could make the state to be vulnerable. to either to the public or to the outside world. I mean, that is misconduct, which is found that they're holding more than one time full pay job, holding more than one time full pay, as in you are fully employed somewhere and you are fully employed in the service. That is a serious misconduct. You are taken from there, you are taken from me. That does not mean an officer cannot engage in other services outside the civil service, as we shall see as time goes on. As time goes on. But it must not be a full-time pay job. It means you are abdicating your responsibility somewhere, yet you are collecting the salary, and you are collecting salary elsewhere. It is very serious misconduct. Then again, we talk about nepotism. That is preferential treatment because it's from the same geopolitical zone with you. You want to give a preferential treatment to him or her.